Over the years, I've learned a bunch of tips that have helped me book cheap flights around the globe. I've been to 45 countries. If you are new here, I'm Jet Sitter Janelle. On this channel, I help solo travelers explore the world with confidence by sharing honest guides, tips, and real experiences. I want to give a shout out to Talathom. Your comment video about affordable flights, that's what we're getting into today. The first thing I do is going to be to check flight comparison sites. What these sites do, they search flights worldwide, whether it's domestic, international, so that you can get the most affordable deal. The ones that I like to use are specifically Google Flights and Skyscanner. The key word here, my friends, is going to be flexibility. With Skyscanner, if your destination is open from your hometown or wherever you are flying from, a lot of times I would like to fly from major hub cities like Chicago, Dallas, Orlando, Miami, of course, New York City, JFK, because that's where typically for me, I have been able to find the cheapest flights. You pick one of those, hit anywhere as far as a flexible destination, and then you're going to see the cheap options. You would be surprised on how many hundreds of dollars even you can save by adjusting your dates. Maybe flying out a couple days earlier, leaving maybe a couple dates after your event or whatever it is. That's the other thing. If you're stuck to specific dates, like if it's for an event, a birthday, you might not be as flexible. Adjust your dates by a day or two, and you'll be surprised what you can find. Another plus with Skyscanner is that you can set price alerts so that they will notify you when prices drop. And with Google Flights, it is very similar. What I like to do is not select a destination and then see what all the flights are. Yes, of course, I am going to have places that I like to visit that I have in mind. I have been to a few world wonders. The last that I need to see would be Machu Picchu and Taj Mahal. I've done all the others. When I put those in, are the flights going to be cheap? Probably not, because I'm flying from the US, okay? Right now, I'm kind of diving into the day series where I go to Atlanta for a day, or Birmingham, or New York, or Las Vegas. I think I can find some cheap flights to get there, you guys. But if you don't want to do that and be even more adventurous, again, leave the destination blank and select anywhere. Look at the map from your location to see the cheapest flights. Being flexible with your dates. On Google Flights, you can open the calendar, look at the prices for the different days, and you can see the cheapest dates. They're going to be highlighted in green. Google Flights often displays a best and then the cheapest tab. The latter may include cheaper options, but then are the flights going to be direct? Probably not. Again, that's why you want to be flexible. Nobody wants to have a 15 plus hour layover somewhere just because you got a cheap deal, but others might. I mean, it depends. Another thing would be separate tickets. If you use just basic language search, like 1 week trip under $500, for example, you can find some low cost options. That's why I'm saying you need to be flexible with your time range, date range, destinations, okay? And for those of you who are not solo travelers, if you are looking to purchase within a group, I would suggest that you try to look for individual flights. That is probably going to be a way for you to get cheaper possibilities. All right. When you're searching for one person at a time, you are going to be open to limited availability seats as opposed to, a group of 10. Google Flights also has a date grid and a price graph. They will show it to you so you can make the minor adjustments to your dates, and you can literally see the flight costs go up and down. As I've said before, if your location where you're trying to go to wherever is flexible, you can select a continent in the Explore map, wherever that may be, to discover the cheapest cities to fly into. For me, when I go to New York and fly from there, I'm always thinking of Europe. I've been able to find the cheapest flights to Europe from there. Also DC, when I went to Iceland, I believe my flight to Reykjavik, it was about $300 from, I want to say, Dulles. It was with WoW Air, who is no longer in service. Some of the cheapest flights, you guys, it was when I was flying from Europe. I took Wizz Air from Italy. I was in Rome and I flew all the way to Amman, Jordan. I want to say it was 50 euros. I know I made a TikTok about that and people were like, what? Yeah, I mean, that was one of the cheapest flights that I found. It was one way. A site that I don't use as much that I used to was Momondo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. And I would use that for international destinations. I know other travelers have said, to use incognito mode if you aren't emptying out the cookies or the cache. How do you say that? Cache? I don't say it right. But it will see that you are searching for a specific flight and then it could hike it up. So it depends. I don't know. Also, do you guys, when you buy your flights, are you buying them from your tablet, your laptop, or your phone? I think it's interesting how different generations will purchase. For me, I like to use my laptop. I mean, sometimes I'll use my phone. It depends. The next tip is going to be a no-brainer. Fly the budget airlines. I'm talking about Spirit, Frontier, Even Breeze, Allegiant for the U.S. travelers overseas, Ryanair, like I just mentioned, Wizz Air. I've done Air Asia. These airlines offer crazy affordable deals, y'all. Ryanair, you can see flights for as low as 10 to 20 euros. Come on. Now, you do know that the airlines make their money by the additional fees. I've got at the gate. I've seen others get got. It is not pleasant. But if you read the fine print and pack light, you are going to be good to go. Like I told you, I did that 50 euro trip to Jordan. I just had a backpack. Y'all, I keep pushing back my Jordan series. Like, I need to continue it because I know I covered Petra and Amman, but I need to. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting off topic here. If you know the rules, the fine print, the next tip that I'm going to lead into is going to be Team Carry-On. This is what you need to join so that you can get the cheap flights with the budget airlines. The airlines charge for extras like checked luggage, seat selection. Sometimes they like to charge for printing your boarding pass. There's ways that you can get around this. Somebody sent me a reel the other day. It was a woman traveling with her son. The son, he had all the clothes on. And once they got through with the boarding pass, they get charged at the gate. They were just traveling with the personal item. He took all the clothes off in his seat. I've done that, y'all. Like, y'all gotta be comfortable with yourself and pack light. But I do think that these airlines are catching on, and it just depends. I can do another video about this too. If you become Team Carry-On, you're going to see that these budget airlines make most of their money from baggage fees. If you travel with just a carry-on, just a personal item, you are going to save a lot. Plus, it makes traveling easier in general. I tell people all the time, I cannot remember the last time that I was waiting for my bags at the baggage claim. Like, even being on a cruise, having my stuff with me, I took it straight to the door of the room, the balcony, and it's just great to have your things with you. You don't have to worry about your bags being lost or them having to deliver it days into the trip. Honey, I don't know nothing about that because I keep everything with me. It's funny, now I'm on the road to 1K subs. It sounds like I'm singing in my videos, like I'm sing talking. I always say, I laugh at those videos of TikTok of people traveling, Americans traveling in Europe, and they are struggling over the cobblestone roads because they have sets of nice luggage and they didn't prepare. Like, y'all, do you really need that much stuff? I don't think so. I'm thinking about navigating the bus stations, the train stations. It's all so much easier if you stick to one bag. Another way to find affordable flights is going to be to fly during off-peak times, whether it's during the week or certain seasons of the year. Flights typically tend to be cheaper during the week, midweek, if you're flying out on a Tuesday or Wednesday and returning on those dates. I've noticed that the flights are significantly lowered. I'm also thinking of early morning flights, late night flights, catch that red eye, and you can save some dollars there. You also save some dollars if it's an overnight flight because you don't have to pay that night for a hotel stay. Look, I'm trying to give y'all the tea here. The tea, the tips, the hacks, whatever you want to call it. When it comes to traveling during the year, I'm thinking of shoulder seasons, right? Right now, everybody's trying to travel during spring break. Not me. This is when flights are going to be peak. They are going to be more expensive during the summer. I try to avoid those times. Like I told you, I went on the cruise. That was during December. It was not yet the holiday season, and it was where not as many people were traveling because kids were still in school. And also, not only are the flights are cheaper, but the destinations aren't going to be as crowded either. I'm thinking of maybe doing Vegas. I don't know. I got to do a day trip somewhere exciting, y'all, to celebrate 1K. Right now, I'm at 920. This is so exciting. Like, you guys don't know how many years it has taken. And so tip number 5 is going to be to buy tickets at the airport counter. I used to do this at DFW Airport. I would do this with Spirit Airlines. I've heard a lot of success with this. These airlines charge an online booking fee, the LCCs, when you purchase tickets on their website. In certain cases, you can avoid that fee by buying your ticket at the airport counter. You can save off a few dollars. Now, some people are going to say, is it worth it because you are driving, using up your gas to get to the airport? I mean, you might be there. It depends on how the Spirit line is. You know how those agents can be sometimes. There have been times where it was not a problem. I was able to snag tickets for $40, $50. Like flying Frontier and Spirit, you would really be surprised, you guys. And again, this is going to be the ULCCs, the ultra low cost carriers. I don't really know if the big three, I don't think they do this. Has anybody been able to get Delta, United, or American Airlines cheap flight by buying it as the counter rather than online? I don't know, y'all. It's not going to work everywhere. It also depends on the airline, but budget travelers have done this successfully. I mean, what's wrong with saving a little extra money? I want to give you a couple more tips that might help you. One is going to be to fly into a smaller airport near your destination. I'm thinking of MCO Orlando. Their smaller airport there is going to be Sanford. It might be inconvenient to some, but I think that you can save money by doing that. With DFW, there is Dallas Love Field. I'm laughing because I'm thinking about doing a Southwest video. I don't really care for that airline. Instead of doing DCA or BWI, go to Dulles. When I think of Dulles, I think of international, like flying to the Middle East. Not now. I'm talking about like when I used to cover the Gulf region, I would do it from Dulles. Another tip would be to book one-way flights. Instead of doing round trip, you can save dollars by doing that. You can even mix airlines if you want to lower the cost. Wrapping it up, finding affordable flights is all going to come down to being flexible, planning ahead, and following these travel tips that I'm giving you. This is not only a solo travel channel, it's also how to fly on a budget. Use flight comparison tools, fly budget airlines, join Team Carry On, travel during off-peak times, and maybe try booking a ticket at the airport. All of these are going to give you that goal of flying affordably. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead, like and subscribe. And I want you to let me know in the comments below, what is the cheapest flight that you have found? Was it less than $50? Thanks for watching. That's all I got.